Alright, we're on.
We come out every week to prophesy the downfall of his kingdom in America, which is the daughter of Babylon in the Bible, to teach Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans that you are the Lord's chosen people on this sign, which are the lost 12 tribes of Israel, the Israelites. We want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Akakadosh. Double honor to the elders, the apostles, and
Salutations, mercy. The hopeful elect out there preaching the truth and sincerity. So we're just going to touch about what can get you destroyed. Philosophy, which is also known as the tree. But we have some lessons in that. Jeremiah 17 and 7. Blessed is the man that trusted in the Lord and whose hope the Lord is.
So it said, blessed is the man that trusts in the Lord. You know, so what we want to do, we want to trust in the Lord, you know, because we want to be blessed. Because if you're not blessed, then you're cursed, because there's only two sides to it.
That's it, like in the way.
Yep. And then the next verse just read up to water.
For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters.
So right here it's saying that the man that trusts in Yahweh Hashem Shai, he's going to be like a tree. But this tree, he's going to be planted by the waters. He's going to be planted by the river. You know, where it's nice and hydrated.
And the roots are spread all over because they're all reaching for that water.
And another example too is whether the tree comes out good or bad, it depends on the seed, you know, because whether you have a bad seed or a good seed, that depends whether the tree is going to be bad or good. Because I think they have a movie too called The Bad Seed.
Yeah.
And when you look up bad seed, it says a person regarded as bad or corrupt by nature and liable to have harmful influence on other people. So that's what a bad seed is. It's 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Those are bad seeds.
Because like I said, the roots, if the tree is Israel and the roots are the children of Israel and the waters is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, only the ones that are blessed are going to reach for the waters. You know, the other ones are going to be like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. Want me to finish it? Let me start over. Jeremiah 17 and 8. For he shall be as the tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when he cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
See, so when the plant is planted by the rivers, it says, shall not see heat when it comes. You know, that's because the roots are going to be so soaked with water. You know, even if it doesn't rain, even if there's a drought, it's still going to survive.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Let me just say this. And if you notice, people work out in the fields, but it's not too hot for them because they drink water. Their roots are always dipped in the water. And you can be outside in the hot sun and sweating and be feeling hot, but you won't suffer that heat stroke if you got that water. Now, the Lord said, Yahushai said, you know, he has the river. Out of people, if you believe in Him, rivers, bellyfuls of rivers I don't know how it says, living water shall come out of thy belly.
Yeah.
And water is alive. It gives you sustenance. It recharges you. Like what this? Let's say you plant a pepper tree and another pepper tree, but you plant them in two different places. You plant one in the backyard where there's a lot of water, and then you plant one in the front yard where the grass is all dried up. Which one is going to give you more fruit? The one that has the most water available.
It's like you're not gonna plant a seed in the desert. You know, there ain't no water.
No. And don't be funny and say, oh, coconut trees, palm trees grow in the desert. I mean, we're not talking about that. Because what it says right here, and shall not see when he cometh, that's really talking about those missiles. See how I told you your lesson was going to go into mine? And that heat is when the nuclear fire comes out, man. That's the real heat.
Because it even talks about you're going to be able to escape from that.
Yes, sir. And it also says, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, like this brother was saying. Drought, remember that drought we had a couple years ago?
Yeah.
And we couldn't water our grass. We could only water it certain days.
So that means, you know, we're not going to be worried if it doesn't rain, you know. We're going to be out here still, you know, enduring, pushing this truth.
Yes, and that drought is the time of Jacob's trouble, the famine, when the famine hits, the famine of bread and the famine of the word. We ain't gonna be. Where's those brothers at? I got some questions. You know, it's fine if you have questions. We'll answer your questions. But like I said, if I tell you guys there's gonna be church, we're gonna have the camp at 6:30. I mean that's not negotiable. I'm not offering you a negotiation. I'm telling you that's what time it's gonna be every Friday, all the time. But it's okay if you have things to do. But you gotta put yourself in the position of right here.
This is the time to get right with the Lord, right here in this place.
Yeah, because neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
See, so they're gonna produce a lot of fruit, you know, because a good seed produces a good tree, and then it produces good fruit. Because when you go into what is a good seed, it gives you qualities, you know, because there's different qualities. You know, a good seed has higher genetically purity. It has a good shape, size. It has a physical soundness and weight. A higher germination, depending on the crop, and also a higher vigor and stamina.
That's good. That's a good seed.
So that you know represents
High quality seed. Or the elect of Israel. Because the high germination rate is important. If you have to plant a whole field, like I just passed by a bunch of fields. You passed by a bunch of fields. If our job is to fill that field with germinated seed that's going to bear fruit for you, how about Shimei outside? We're not going to pick fat seeds or small seeds. That's right. Discolored seeds. They all have to be, and that represents the truth. We all have to believe the same thing.
Because when you buy seeds, you know, I think you could buy seeds online. You know, seeds cost a lot. You know, for different quality of trees.
And there's organic seeds. There's heirloom seeds. Those are expensive. You can go to a Swiss online and order the real seeds of real food, like real tomatoes, and that's gonna cost you a lot. Shit, I paid like $4 for a package of seeds of tomato seeds. There was like Pick 12 seats, man. $4. And you know why? You know how I know they were so good? The fucking rats ate them. The mice ate them. That's when they're real good. The pests will get them.
The tree was probably potent, you know. That's when it's potent, you know.
Sir, let me get the next verse. I'm going to read Jeremiah 17 and 8 again. For he shall be as the tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
So that's what happens when you trust in the Lord. You get blessed, you know, with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Sir. Yes, sir. And have you ever been to the river?
Yeah.
When you go to the river, where do you want to pitch your stuff at? By the tree. By the tree that's next to the river.
Because it brings shade, too.
It brings shade, and then not only that, you can have fun off it. You can tie a rope to a branch, swing off it. It's funner by that tree, right?
Have exercise, you know.
This is that tree. This is a tree where everybody should be at.
It's a tree of life, you know. It's called the tree of life.
Yes, sir.
Isaiah 61.
This is Isaiah 60 and 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon thee. Oh, 61? Okay.
But that's what we're doing. We're trying to let our light shine on the Israelites. You know what I mean?
That was a mistake too. All right.
But that's kind of the same one that goes with this one too, I think.
But it's never a
Because
mistake.
that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to come out here and warn our people.
That's the spirit too, because you can't. I mean, if you're worried about going into a lesson and the Lord's really with you, you can't make no mistakes. That was a dream.
An angel threw in that preach thing.
The angel said, "Stop right here. Read this first."
You know?
And this is Isaiah 61 and 1. The spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Alachayanawa is upon me, because Yahweh hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and to the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
See, it's the same thing, because it said, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has anointed me so that we could speak to the meek. And these are the meek right here, the Israelites. You know?
So let me get that Isaiah 60 and 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon thee.
That's right.
Yeah, so all you people out here, you don't want to know this, but the glory of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is upon you.
Yeah. And he told us to teach the brokenhearted, you know? The brokenhearted are the ones who don't know that they're Israelites.
The meek.
Because it says the meek shall inherit the earth.
To proclaim liberty to the captives.
See that? Liberty to the ones who went in captivity.
And liberty is also freedom. This is the only freedom.
That hasn't happened yet.
So this is perfect, because the word anointed means to be chosen. Our Messiah, that word Messiah means anointed, chosen. So the Yahweh has the chosen, that's Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai has the chosen, that's the elect, that's hopefully us. So let me get that one again. Isaiah 61. That's too good. The spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Alachayanawa is upon me, because the Lord had anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and to the opening of the prisons to them that are bound.
That's everything that we're saying, what we're teaching. You know, that's that song that we're singing.
And a lot of you don't know that you're prisoners. Prisoners to darkness. Darkness represents ignorance.
Prisoner to sin too.
Yes, sir. Sin. Darkness is sin too. That's basically death. Oh, that's gonna go into my lesson. Dang. See. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you want to go. If we do a lesson on this, it's gonna tie into this lesson. That's synchronism. The Lord is in sync. Because it takes, look at, yeah, it's me and him up here. But in the spirit, there's a bunch of angels around.
That's right.
There's angels in the car, driving around with the people, making them look, making them walk by, making them look at the sign. See, this is the thing that gets you captivated right here, the sign. To proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh, which is right now, and the day of vengeance of our power to comfort all that mourn.
And it said the acceptable year of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And this year, Apostle Tahar named it the year of prophecy. You know?
The Lord's all about prophecy.
So this is an acceptable year, you know.
So prophesying to us means telling you what the Lord said to us. But here's a super thing about Yahweh. Yahweh says things and then they happen. That's power right there. So he gave us great authority. Power. People don't, even brothers in the truth, they don't recognize it sometimes. But they got power. Like, think about, if you're in the truth, are you really hungry? Are you tired? You're not really any of those things. You're being put to the test. Because right here it says, the day of vengeance of our power.
And that's what comforts us. It's a day of vengeance of Yahushua, you know. But to others, they're scared. You know, to others, they're scared of the end of the world, you know.
Verse 3, to appoint them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, that the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified.
So this is the planting of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So everybody on this planet is a tree, you know, and everybody produces fruit, you know. So what kind of fruit are you producing? Bad or good, you know?
Now check that out. See, if we're trees, we were planted by who? Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But our feet aren't in the ground, so that water, we're planted by the river of living water. See, we're getting all that water. We don't know when the drought's coming. We don't know when the heat's coming. This is a good lesson, man. Let me read that one again. Break it down. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion.
And Zion are the Israelites.
Yes, sir. So who's really mourning in Zion? Are there 2/3 mourning? They don't know. It's the elect, the hopeful elect. We're preaching and prophesying and crying out loud. The oil of joy for mourning. See, we're, like the brother said, we're glad this place is going to be destroyed. We're glad this place is going to be destroyed, and that's joy. The garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Hey, this is, once you understand these scriptures, that's heavy. And then you put your garment on to go pray, go preach that heaviness. I remember when I first came in the truth, like some of the things Apostle Tahar would say, I was like, dang. I'd be like, oh, that's heavy. That's pretty intense. That they might be called trees of righteousness.
See, so that's what we want to be called, as trees of righteousness.
Because trees of righteousness produce fruit of righteousness.
Because once you understand what's going to happen if you're a bad plant or a bad tree that produces bad fruit, you'll understand. You know, I want to go to Matthew 7 and 17.
This is Matthew 7 and 17, and this is in red, so Yahushua says so.
Yeah, start at 15.
All right, I'll start at 15. And it's still in red. So basically the whole of chapter 7 is Yahushua's verse. I'm going to start at 7 and 25. Oh, no, 15. 7 and 15, Salakia. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
See, so who is the sheep? Yahushua. Yahushua, the Son of God, is the sheep.
Who's the wolf?
It's more than you.
The wolves are the 2/3 and the heathens.
Every unbelieving soul. Verse 16. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?
So when they say that these false prophets, they look like a lamb, that means that they're trying to preach the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, but they don't fully have 100% truth, you know. So these are, you know, talking about like those other camps, IUIC, who call the name of the Lord Christ, you know.
Because they are producing fruit, but it's grapes of thorns.
That's right. You know, because they are saying that the 12 tribes, you know, the Israelites, they are saying that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So they're really disguising themselves because they look like they got the truth, right? Read 16 again.
You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?
See, so that's how we know. If we see a camp preaching that the mark of the beast is Christianity, we're gonna know that's a bad fruit, because it's just like how a grape is inside of a thorn bush. You know, that grape looks good to eat, but if you go trying to pick that grape, it's gonna poke you. You know?
Yeah. So what happens when you get poked with something? It contaminates your blood system. So, and you devils made us pick cotton. And every time we pick cotton, there's a thorn in there. And then we would stab ourselves. And then that's why the cotton would be sometimes red.
So we can see that you don't have 100% truth.
Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
See, like I said, you got a good seed, it's going to bring good fruit. You got a bad seed, it's not going to bring good fruit. It's going to bring rotten fruit.
And the Lord, remember, put a curse on that tree and it withered up and died. Verse 18. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
See, so when we woke up to the truth, we knew that Great Millstone had 100% truth. That there could be no lies about it, you know, no doubts.
Verse 19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
See that? So that's what's going to happen if you're not a good tree bringing good fruit. You're going to get cast into the fire, and the fire is destruction. You know.
Oh. That's going to go into my lesson too. My lesson is going to be about the flood and the second destruction. So we're at 19. Want me to do 20?
Yep. So
Look get that 19. All right. Verse 20. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them.
So you should know that we're preaching the 100% truth, you know, because we're out here every week. We've been out here every week.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So why the hell are we out here? We could be at a strip club, popping dollars, going on vacations.
Yeah, that's the reason why we came, you know, on this side of town, you know. It's for brothers.
Hey, man, that's the scripture right there. The first scripture we got. One of the first scriptures we got. We have to what? We have to gather up the brokenhearted and preach good tidings to the meek. So when we go to 21? Oh, I have to, man. It's good. So let me just get that one. Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
Not everybody's going to be able, you know, to get into heaven. It says right there. Right?
Hell no.
Only the ones that do the will of Yahweh Shai.
So the only advice I can give a brother out there is, from experience, once you start working for something and then you see it's giving out fruits, you start working harder for it. Like we were talking about fighting the last week. The last 30 seconds of a fight is when the fight gets good. So you're trying to knock them the last round, you're trying to knock them out. You're trying to get them going. And also, there's a saying when it gets good, it gets real fast, it gets going. See, and this world is about to end.
When the tough get going.
Oh yeah, when the times get tough.
When the going gets tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I meant to say. So now, see, that was Satan trying to get that shit out of my head. But the message is for you younger brothers, it's gonna get tough. So you better get going. Yeah, you work hard and you're tired as fuck. You got the COVID, you recovered, but you could make videos on your own. Sure, you got babies, man, but guess what, man? Those babies go to sleep sometimes. Oh, man, you gotta lose sleep sometimes. Studying is hard. It's all hard, man. But when it gets tough, you gotta get going. So where we at now?
You want to go into Revelation about the wings and Mark?
So let me get Revelation 13.
I just want to hit like the points.
All right, 13:1. Revelation 13:1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the names of blasphemy.
So this is a beast that is talking about, you know, and this beast, it's going to have an image, and the whole world is going to worship this beast, you know. That's it.
Yeah, go ahead. Show them to the camera.
And this is that beast that is talking about.
So you see how it has the 7 heads? Well, put it back a little bit. There you go. Now, there it's clear. See, so there's 7 heads. And now, I don't know if you can see it, but each one of those heads represents a nation of our enemies. Basically, they're all the other nations. So every time the name of blasphemy was on it, like the Antiochus Epiphany, he made a sacrifice swine in the temple, and then in Rome. So that goes into Greece. So there was Greece. Let me see if I can get them all by not looking at it. So there's Greece, Rome, Germania Major, Spain, England,
beast, you know, it had 7 heads, which the 7 heads are 7 governments or kingdoms that were ruled by Esau. It's Germania Major, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, Germania Minor, the British, and the Greeks.
Yep. And they all had the names of blasphemy on them. Why? Because they all took part in enslaving of Israelites. They all destroyed the temple. They all destroyed the culture, the heritage, and then try to put themselves in the mix.
And today, it'd be called NATO and the EU.
Yes, sir.
You know?
And also America, because America is the one writing it.
Yeah, America is the woman that's sitting on top. She's called the whore.
She's also a beast. Because the whore is a fucking beast. All those demons they got on them. But let me go to the next one. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
So this beast that has a great power and great authority. You know, these are all the kingdoms that have nuclear destruction.
Yes, sir. And it says it names each beast, like the leopard and the bear. That's Greece, and the last one is the bear. That's going to be Russia.
Because the leopard is that's supposed to be Alexander the Greek, because it talks about he had a leopard. Forgot what kind of clothing he had.
I think he did kill a leopard and he put it on like as a
something like that.
as a coat or something. So let's say bear, and his mouth has the mouth of a lion. So what's a lion? A lion is a king of the jungle. When it says to do something, you do it. Verse 6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, Yahweh, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell therein.
So this beast, you know, he's going against Yahweh Bashim Awashai, you know, all the going against all the scriptures.
Yep. So and then just the easy explanation is, the simplest way to explain it is, all these laws that they're passing, like the gay rights, so that's against the scripture. That's great blasphemy.
I got a little list, because to the side of the beast it says the philosophy, democracy, religion, idolatry, homosexuality, lies, adultery, covetousness, and murder.
The philosophy,